Listen to the brand new season of the Voice of Survival podcast every other Friday right here on the Journey into Comics Network at journeyintocomics.com.
The following is a Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
It's a Journey into Comics.
It's a Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network. Production.
We're gonna fuck the sodomites in the heritage!
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Nick and Tyler. And Matt coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are Podcastrophe. I'm your host, Dick. And we got Tyler here. He's back.
I'm your beefy boy, your scuba diving instructor, your dolphin trainer, your example on why the human race shouldn't continue. I'm your guy.
You're the guy. You're my guy.
I'm your beefy boy, old dad TY. Coming at you from the new casting couch today.
I mean, look at that stain. Look at that stain you're sitting on.
That wasn't there before I got here. The first thing that Blaine said to me when I arrived today was, "Come in the back door."
I did. I sure did.
From that moment came this stain. Lots of double entendres.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're down to Matt today. He's sick, unfortunately. However, he did just share the feed, so he's not sick enough to share.
Normally when I'm down for the count, I don't even have the energy to watch.
Yeah. He texted me, he's like, I feel like, after I was like, okay. He's like, I feel so bad. I'm sorry. And I'm like, dude, it's okay. You got like 7 sick days left.
Well, that's part of the reason though that we, when you and I had Matt on as a guest for the first time, and I said, dude, we need to get him like on the show permanently.
Yeah.
One, we both really like having Matt around, but it gives us a little bit more scheduling freedom. If you needed to take a day off for whatever reason, Matt and I could hold down the fort. If I need to take a day off, you're not always solo casting it, because it's fucking hard to do it by yourself.
It really is. It's tough.
I mean, like last year when we did the Road to Infinity War, and I recorded the Guardians of the Galaxy spiel, it was just, the portion that I did by myself.
Wait, you did that with me?
I did something by myself around that same time. It's just, I fucking did it in my living room. It's just fucking hard to do by yourself if you don't have like all your ducks in a row.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what it was now.
There's been a few that I've done by myself, and let me tell you, it's tough.
I think you do a better job of it than I would.
I'm not terrible at it, but like I find myself talking in circles if I do have something to talk about. And if I don't have anything to talk about, I won't do a solo cast.
Right.
Like, flat out won't do it. And
you're not as good a bullshitter as I am.
No.
And I'm like,
no, sir.
I'm a good bullshitter, and I can't bullshit a microphone for an hour and a half. I can sit in a room with somebody and bullshit for a long time. I cannot fucking bullshit silence.
Like, sometimes when I do the solo cast, I shock myself for how long I end up going. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whoa, holy fuck, that was an hour and a half?
Right. How
did I do that? I don't know how Nate does it. I don't know how Andrew Poor does it.
Well, I think it's like Nate and AP both, they obviously both do it a little bit different than we do. Mm-hmm. They basically have hard bullet points.
Yes.
That they hit. And, especially like Nate, I've binge listened JIC the last couple days because I'm on hiatus from a bi-weekly podcast that I listen to. I finally got caught up, and now it's like, well, now I have time to listen to the shit that I don't normally have time to listen to. So I've been binge listening JIC. And in my mind, it's like Nate is sitting there and he's like, okay, I've got this list of shit that I want to talk about. And it's like every time he gets to the next bullet point, it's like a fucking neuron explosion in his brain because it's like, I wanted to say this about this and I wanted to say this.
Yeah.
And he just rolls and he has the ability to do that. As busy as I am and as busy as you are now, I think that with as much as we just go off the cuff on this show, you know, obviously we're a little bit more topic focused now.
Yeah. We're trying to condense the show a little more so we're not staying up so late.
Right. Well,
that's going to be a big deal for me coming up because I got to be up at 4 a.m. now.
Well,
like I have to be.
I want the people that listen to this show to enjoy listening to it every week, and not saying that we, you know, put forth bad content, but you don't want to listen to a 4-hour long podcast every week.
No.
You know, Rogan is obviously one of the most successful podcasts, you know, ever. I love listening to Rogan's show because of how he highlights his guests and, you know, his interesting perspective on things. But man, some of his episodes, it's like, man, I just listened to a 3-hour fucking long show. I don't want to listen to another one right
ridiculous.
after it.
It's truly ridiculous.
We kind of agreed to lighten the load of the show without even, you know, talking about it. Because we both just felt it was necessary.
And you know, I've said it a million times. Like, this show is never meant to be like topical. It's just meant like whatever we come up with. Because I've said this a million times. I based this show loosely around the Game Over Greggy show, which is now the Kind of Funny podcast, and the Rooster Teeth podcast, which used to be the Drunk Tank podcast.
Right.
I think it's funny that both of those shows started out as a different show and then they rebranded. So
it's weird how often that happens.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised it took Kind of Funny as long as it did to change from Game Over Greggy to Kind of Funny, because it was kind of confusing, I guess, for fans to be like, what the Kind of Funny? Who the fuck's this? I know Game Over Greggy.
Right.
What the fuck's Kind of Funny? Or kind of like Game Over Greggy, what the fuck is that? Like, why is it on the Kind of Funny show? Like, what is this?
Poor communication on their part.
But you know, but they still have a massive fan base.
Right.
If only we could get there.
We're working our way up.
We are.
It's baby steps.
Yeah. We got something in the planning stages right now. Hopefully we got a nice little show we're going to put on. And I'm not talking like one of these little live stream audio video shows. I'm talking a full-blown show that bands play at. We do some live podcasting and
some charitable donations.
Charitable donations. We're going to have some raffles and a bake sale. And whoever's in the Lafayette area or surrounding area, or whoever wants to drive here, can come and, you know, help us out. You know, everybody through that door will help out. And as soon as we have details, we'll get them to you.
And I'm sure we're going to live stream it too. So if anybody wants to send us money digitally, we have the means.
Yeah.
And the wants.
We definitely have the wants.
Oh man,
I need a beer. It's been a while since. Okay, I guess it's been since last Friday that I drank. So not very long.
It's been
1 week since I looked at you.
Like,
it's been 1 week since you looked at me.
6.
It's been 2 weeks since you looked at me.
Yeah, 5 or 6 weeks since I've had a beer.
Do you want something?
I mean, it depends.
I have a lot of stuff.
Stuff and things, or just stuff?
Stuff and things. I have the pink guava fresh fruit, and it's an interesting flavor. I guess I could start myself off with that, and I'll let you taste it.
Let me taste it?
Yeah, and see if you like it.
Okay.
It's got... So Brews with Dudes did this one last week, and it's... I couldn't nail down exactly how to say it until they said it, and I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to convey here. Because I was in the comments, and...
Jacking off?
Yes.
Sure.
Furiously. There you go. It's got like a really sharp. It's the guava.
Okay.
Got a really sharp flavor.
Well, I like the way it smells. A lot of these fresh... I mean, anybody that's listened to the show knows that I haven't really been a fan of the fresh fruit since 450 North kind of debuted it. I haven't... There's only been like 2 that I've liked.
Yeah.
But it smells better than most of them have so far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I really like that.
You can have it.
And I will enjoy it.
That's all you, my friend.
But while we're just kind of brainstorming here, I wanted to take a moment and kind of go along with Matt's apology.
Drink one of my maize hazes.
To kind of highlight, we're out of the holidays now. We're starting the new year, new me, #blessed. Wanted to do one of those Podcastrophe public service announcements where we here know that the holidays are tough for a lot of people. And then you start the new year and there's all the kind of the societal expectations that starting January 1, you're just going to get your shit together overnight and you're going to make massive changes and, better your life and do all that.
It's been a long time since I've had New Year's resolutions or like New Year, new me goals and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't believe in them.
Well,
I don't believe in it anymore.
We've talked about on the show before how, like, my daily goal, like pretty much the only goal that I have every day other than, surviving, is I set out every day to learn something new. And, that's kind of why my portfolio is so diverse. Mm-hmm. Because I just learn new shit every day. And then, as technology and science evolves.
Speaking of that, like, isn't it such a satisfying visual to, like, when you pour a beer and you just see all the carbonation bubbles just pop up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just sexy.
It's like what I did to you a little bit ago.
I mean, what I did to you.
Okay.
You see that? You see that stain?
Yeah.
That's a big stain.
It's from both of us. But,
it's actually dog slobber.
And semen.
Not confirmed.
Slightly confirmed. But, you knocked me off my fucking rails.
Good!
Hoss. Don't... It's like hard... Like, the way that I feel about it, it's hard for me to explain, because I also don't do the New Year's resolution shit anymore, because it's just a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap for you to set really, really high expectations for yourself. Like, unreasonably high expectations. And then fail. And then just shit on yourself. And, well, I didn't lose 150 pounds like, so-and-so did. Or, I didn't set the fucking land speed record on my bicycle. Like,
why do you need a new year to be a new me? Like,
right.
Why do you need why do we as humans need an excuse for everything? To do something, to do anything?
Because we only utilize a fraction of our brain potential, and when we slightly get out of the box and utilize a little bit more brain potential, it fucks with our minds. I mean, like, the conscious decision that I made a couple years ago that I am not going to be miserable, I am not going to make everyone around me miserable, that fucked with my brain for a long time, because it's like, man, this just doesn't feel like me, because I was used to be... You know how coarse I am, like, now.
Yeah.
Like,
coarse is a great word for it.
People don't understand, like my friend group and my coworkers, when I say that 5 years ago you would have not wanted to be around me as a human being, like, people don't understand the gravity of that statement. Like, I was the guy that you wanted to fucking murder because I was just in your face all the time, abrasive, just, and not because, I'm an evil human being, but because I was really unhappy with myself and I wanted everyone else around me to be happy. Well, when you get stuck in that, time loop of I'm unhappy, so I'll make others happy because that makes me happy. But it doesn't make me happy enough, so I need to make other people more happy, and they're not happy enough. So now I'm going to get mad. It's a bad fucking road to go down.
Yeah.
But when I made that decision to not be that way, I felt so out of character because of the David. If anybody wants to hear any of this really motivational shit about changing yourself, look up David Goggins.
Any relation to
No.
Walton Goggins?
No, this is a black guy.
Oh.
Navy SEAL, super ultra marathon runner. He's got the world pull-up record. You know, he did pull-ups for 34 hours straight. You know, this guy was like, he was in the military, and then he left the military, and then he got really, really fat.
Yeah.
And he was in a dead-end job in a bad fucking area, and he wanted to change his life, and he kept failing. Then he saw a TV show about Navy SEALs, and he said, well, I'm going to be a fucking Navy SEAL. And, you know, he became one of the most famous Navy SEALs of all time.
Yeah.
He's been on Rogan's show a lot. Like, just listening to him tell his story is fucking motivational.
Yeah.
And the guy, like, one of the things that he says, I had to create a new person in my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he was deathly terrified of swimming, of water. The fucker's a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of can't be afraid of that shit.
No. But, and
Like,
you know,
it's in the it's in both of the names, Navy and SEAL.
that's all water, my man. That's all
That's
water.
all they do.
But he talks about how hey Cameron, you fuck. But he talks about how he creates this new person in his mind, and it's just incredible. And the first time that I heard him tell the story, it's like, well, fuck, that's kind of what I did in a way. Obviously not as extreme because I'm still a piece of shit, but do what you feel is right. If you want to better yourself, then better yourself. Embrace the suck.
Yeah.
As Mr. David Goggins says, if you fail, use it. Be better the next day. And if you're not, keep being better the next day after that. And I just wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about that. Because the holidays are an especially tough time for me. And then you couple in the lack of vitamin D that I have right now because I can't be out in the sun. And the weather's shitty. We're about to get 12 inches of snow on Saturday. Pretty mad about that.
I'll give you some vitamin D.
Give me all that D.
I'll give you 12 inches.
I actually know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I used to watch that guy a lot. Like, he did, what was it, like 4,000 something pull-ups in one go.
Oh yeah, he did pull-ups.
And then he do push-ups too.
I don't know if he set the record for push-up or broke the record for push-ups too, but I'm sure he was close. So in the, you and I have talked about Rocky a lot on the show.
Yeah.
And Rocky 1.
Oh, not the dog.
No.
Kidding.
Round 11. Apollo knocks Rocky down. Okay? And this is what David Goggins talks about where he got his motivation from. The movie fucking Rocky 1.
Yeah.
Loved it as a kid. The song that plays when Apollo knocks Rocky down, turns his back to him, holds his hands up in the air. I've won. I knocked this fucker down again. He cannot get up. And the song that starts playing in the 11th round, when Rocky gets back up, and Apollo turns around and looks at him, and Rocky says, "Come on, I'm not done." Apollo looks down and shakes his head, and just the look on his face when Rocky says, "Come on," he beat him right there. He didn't even have to hit him again. He beat him because he wouldn't stay down. And
That's that. He beat him up here.
he listened. David Goggins listened to that song in the 11th round for 34 hours and like 51 minutes straight on repeat while he was breaking the world record for push-ups or for pull-ups. 34 hours long. He listened to a minute and like 31-second song. for 34 hours. Doing pull-ups the whole time.
How many pull-ups did he do?
Here, let me look it up real quick.
While you're pulling up, I'm going to grab something real quick. I left it upstairs because it would make too much sound while I was sneaking down. Dude, the cat ran past me and I was like, oh shit, my cover's blown.
I really like how you surprised me with him today.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know if I can come in and like at the start of the show. I'm like, that's even better. just show up.
Like the best way to like sneak up on you and shit. Your door won't close.
Push in the thing and then close. And then you can turn it.
4,030 pull-ups.
Wow. Over the course of 34 hours?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck do you have?
Well, okay, so in 24, he holds the record for the most pull-ups in 24 hours.
Okay.
Which is 4,025. In 34 hours, he did basically another 100 pull-ups. So,
damn.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I can do 5.
I haven't been able to do a pull-up since like 2010. So
I mean, I could probably do more than that. I just stop at 5.
That's fair.
Because who wants to?
Who wants to do 2 or
who wants to do more?
anything?
He wants to do 4,000.
That guy apparently. But he had something to prove. I don't.
But what's incredible to me is he didn't have anything to prove to anybody.
Himself.
He had to prove it to himself.
Nate Phillips is first off, he blessed this pod. And he goes, the loudest fucking snack, what the shit. It doesn't help that like a room mic is like right beside him, so
How you liking it over there from the Cheritage? Stop it.
Chair's actually really comfy.
It is a good recliner. It's made out of cashmere and tears.
Dried
tears.
Cum rag.
No, it's tears, not semen.
Semen is just tears from your wiener.
Okay, let's get into the actual topics now.
You got any?
Well, you had some.
I had some, but I'm asking if you got any first.
Well, we got a really long-awaited movie trailer today.
Yeah, we did.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I need to watch it first.
Have you not watched it yet? Okay. Yeah, we talked about this.
I tried to watch it, but Joe was talking and it was buffering in the lunchroom. So,
gotta love that Sprint cellular coverage. Yeah, we got the Far From Home Spider-Man trailer today, which actually came out like months ago in Brazil.
Really?
But they wouldn't show it. Like there was like a non-disclosure agreement worldwide, so only people at that little event got to see. And I don't think it was the same trailer, but
okay, we're ready to watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spider-Man. That was so good.
Didn't he get turned to dust?
This is after Infinity War.
You too.
It's before Infinity War.
Yes, it is.
Really?
It is set before.
What just happened?
Pod Daddy Nate, is it set before or after Infinity War?
Go to Europe. School trip. Let's get your passport. Peter Parker here to pick up a passport, please. Need toothpaste? Pack your suit. I just want to go on my trip with my friend. Europe doesn't really need a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You look really pretty.
And therefore I have value?
No, that's not
I'm
right.
messing with you. You look pretty too.
I just want to spend some time with MJ. I think she really likes me, dude. That was when I first fell in love. I had just finished my full copy.
So nice to finally meet you.
I like how it was like a full-on dart gun.
According to Kevin Feige, Spider-Man Far From Home takes place after Avengers Endgame. Thank you, I was correct.
I've heard nothing but prequel.
Well, Kevin Feige says different.
You think Spider-Man will be like, remember that time I was dust?
Awesome.
Oh, that stealth suit's awesome.
But we have a job to do. Are you going to step up or not? You're all alone. Your friends are in trouble.
Is that the noir suit?
You don't want any part of this.
Who is that guy?
He's like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. What's up, dickwad?
Dickwad. Have you seen trailers for Godzilla, Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I got a rager for that movie.
Yeah, Blaine and I are both really pumped for it too.
Do you know I bought
Hold on. I'm at the mall. I can't remember what for. I was just there just to get food.
This was like like
2 weeks ago now?
No, like it wasn't like 4 days after we saw each other at Menards too.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
After I found you at Menards.
Yeah.
So I run into this jackass at FYE because I'm just waiting for my food, and so I go down. I go. I'm actually in line. I've already bought my CDs, and I look over, and he's already walked past me, and he's already checking out the movies. He's just back there looking at the Godzilla collections.
Well, the reason I was back there is because I was going to the mall to go to Dick's to buy something, but
you were at FYE looking for the Bowsette porn parody.
Yes, exactly. No, I have a really big addiction to Auntie Anne's pretzels, even though they're overpriced and I hate them, but I have to eat at least one every time I go to the mall.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'll just walk around the mall for a little bit while I eat the pretzel. And I walked in there.
Fucking stare into people's souls.
Yeah.
Scare small
children.
children.
I usually either walk into FYE or go to Earthbound and just look at random shit. And then I happen to see like fucking Godzilla stuff. I'm like, holy shit.
Earthbound is a bunch of random shit for sure.
Random hippie shit.
Random pretend hippie shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real hippies aren't materialistic like that.
Yeah, you're right. What'd you get at Dick's?
What?
What'd you get at Dick's?
A dick. No, I bought the fucking torso punching bag thing to Bob.
I bought a soccer ball, 3 jock straps, a vuvuzela, which is weird that they carry them at Dick's Sporting Goods, but I bought one. I know
people that have one.
I used to have one. I bought a baseball glove steaming machine.
Was this recently?
For my balls. And
your baseballs.
My baseballs. And I bought a shoe. Just one.
Not 2?
Just one.
That
was everything that you bought at Dick's.
How much did that add up to?
$9.
Did you?
Damn.
Are you one of those people that are like,
you really save a lot of money by just buying one shoe.
He's an extreme couponer.
You're like one of those.
They actually paid you $9.
Please take it. You're actually one of those mystery box openers.
Yes.
But
I buy pallets of shit of returns from Amazon and then sell it on eBay.
Do you actually do that?
No.
Damn. Yeah.
I got him there for a second, like, ooh.
But yeah, I ended up seeing Blaine. Blaine came over and antagonized me.
Did you touch him?
He touched me, or I touch him?
Either one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not going to disclose who touched who.
I don't need that information.
Just know that there was touching.
Lots.
All right, let's hone in.
Sensual.
On what we're talking about. We're talking about Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yeah.
Which takes place after Avengers: Endgame.
I guess.
Confirmed. And so what are our thoughts there? I watched it today and then raved about it.
I'm definitely digging the stealth shield suit. or shield stealth spider suit, as Nate is calling it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweet. I'm always a giant fan of black and red. So,
well, I mean, if you think about just the character of Spider-Man, every time he's been in a black suit, like those are some of the most iconic imagery.
Yeah, you got the Venom suit. You got Miles Morales.
Mm-hmm.
This.
Right. The noir spider suit that you brought up, which is really cool.
Which I don't know if that is for sure.
No, I don't think it is. I think it just looks really similar to it.
Yeah, I like it. I dig it. This trailer is cool. Which we've already known, but Mysterio is an ally in this movie.
Yes.
But we think by the third act he'll be a full-fledged villain.
Well, from what I read today, it's not necessarily that he's an ally, it's just that he's not Spider-Man's villain from the get-go.
Yeah.
He is a villain, just not the villain.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's kind of wishy-washy. I was really, really apprehensive about Jake Gyllenhaal getting involved in the MCU. Originally Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to take the place of Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. When Tobey Maguire had that bad back injury, he was supposed to take over. Bruce Campbell. What's that?
Glad that never happened.
Yeah. Bruce Campbell originally was supposed to play Mysterio in the original Spider-Man movies. But I'm not apprehensive about Jake Gyllenhaal now.
No.
I'm digging the look.
Dicking?
I'm digging the
about
look.
To be dicking.
I'm about to be dicking Jake Gyllenhaal. Brokeback style. But no, I'm actually really intrigued with this version of Mysterio. Obviously the suit looks badass, which I can almost read your mind on what you're going to say, that it looks too much like the Thor suit.
I actually discussed this with Brandon Stone today.
Okay.
Game Addicts Podcast, shout out. Because originally when they teased the drawings of it,
concept art.
The concept art, yeah, thank you.
I was just gonna.
And that was that was totally like a lisp right there, because I said yes, thank you, but
yes.
it all blended into one. I said yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's my aura.
It really is. But no, the original concept, it had like a blacker suit, and maybe it was like the gold, but it had like the black bulbs going down.
Didn't we talk? I thought we talked about this.
We definitely talked about it. But it had the black bulbs, and it was identical to Thor. It had the steel mesh like for the arms and shit. It was identical to Thor's getup.
I liked seeing Mysterio without his helmet immediately.
Yeah.
That was a good kind of change of pace. Because if you think back to like animated Spider-Man from the 90s, I mean, he was just fishbowl head.
Yeah, you never see him.
You never see his face. So I dug that almost immediately. I like that we're seeing. So my first impression is this looks way better than Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Have you watched that yet?
I actually have Joe's copy.
I know you do.
Yeah.
He reminds us all the time.
Does he really?
Yes, he does.
Also reminds Blaine to pay rent.
Why doesn't he just ask for it back?
He'd have to have
you know the answer to that.
Right. So I'm going to keep it until he asks for it back. So you can tell him that. Because we're adults, and if he would like his movie back that he gave me to watch, I will give it back to him.
Deal.
But
yeah, he still like the other day he made a joke. I can't remember what I was blowing him shit, and he's like, "Well, at least I can make my house payment."
Oh,
and I'm like,
God, I loved this.
And I literally looked at it, I was like, I literally made mine today.
Tell him he owes you rent.
But I think this looks better than Homecoming.
Homecoming was really good. You need to watch that.
What?
Have you watched it yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had Joe's movie for almost a year. But I like that we're seeing Aunt May and Happy. Mm-hmm. We got some stuff going on there. But they all know that Peter is Spider-Man.
Yes.
Really vibing that. Especially because I just finished the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Yeah, and I have a theory about that.
Okay.
That specifically. I think you missed last week because you wanted to finish the game.
Why do you say that?
Because, like, literally the next day, Brandon's like, Tyler finished Spider-Man last night. And I'm like, oh, so that's one of the loose ends he had to tie up.
No, that was me taking care of my mental health.
Gotcha.
And when I finally, like, crawled out of bed, I thought, well, I'll play Spider-Man for like an hour. And then I beat it. So, but yeah, Spider-Man PS4, incredible. Story, incredible. All of it, incredible. Amazing, some would say. And Far From Home looks just like that. I don't really dig, even from Homecoming, I don't really dig this version's Mary Jane.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's just weird that Mary Jane isn't a redhead. Like, that was always such a focus. But, I mean, excuse me. I'm obviously really pumped to see it.
Me too. Yeah, I'm excited to see like all these villains, like Hydro Man, Sandman, maybe a Fireman,
Earthman,
Earthman. Maybe Spider-Man's gonna fight Captain Planet.
Earthworm Jim, Earthman Jim,
Earthman Jim, coming to a theater near you.
I don't know if
would you watch that movie?
Please stop.
Earthworm Jim.
I don't know if they could do Captain Planet though. Don Cheadle's already War Machine.
You just recast him with Danny DeVito.
Captain Planet
Yes.
or War Machine?
No, either.
Both.
Either.
That would be, or we just bring back Terrence Howard. No.
No, I
JK.
mean I like Terrence Howard, but Don Cheadle's so better.
Oh, so much better.
So better.
So better.
So better.
That's why I stuttered for a second because you said so better.
I just wanted to see if you.
He's so better. Yeah, he's so. What?
We're all having strokes on this podcast today.
Strokes galore.
So how have you been, Tyler?
I've been okay.
Yeah. I've been okay too.
What ulterior motives do we have brewing here?
You're just like, how does that make you feel? You know?
So remember when
I look over and he's fucking furiously ravaging himself. If I don't make eye contact, he can't see me.
So I was after what was it, Band 1?
Yeah.
That concert?
Band number one.
Band number one.
Yeah, that night I tried something new.
You put a football in your butt.
Close.
Okay.
No, I want you to take a real guess. Like, what would you think I would do that would be new?
Would I, knowing the amount of time that you and I have spent together, would I think about this regularly?
No.
Is this something that I told you to do?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I don't even know if you'd approve of it or not.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I told you the other day.
Well, you probably did, but I don't remember.
Oh. Well, that...
I don't know, I gotta guess. You asked me to guess.
Oh, yeah. I'm so used to people being like, oh, I can't guess.
You had sex with a condom.
I've only had sex without a condom, like, with 2 girls.
Yeah, and I shit on you both times.
Yeah. No actual fecal matter has been on my dick. Just saying.
Can't confirm that. If you were in the bee, you had the fucking dirty bird on your bee.
She's one of those girls that wops from back to front. Have any more? You want any hints?
No, yeah, sure. Give me a hint.
It's
Is it sexual?
No.
Is it financial?
No.
Is it something an adult would do?
Sometimes, yeah.
Is it something that I would reasonably disapprove of?
I don't know.
Did you put a thumb in your butt?
No.
Just tell me, for the love of God.
I took mushrooms.
Okay.
And it was a really good experience, but the only thing the best thing I could say from it is, if anyone watching ever does mushrooms, if you don't feel it, do not eat more. That is the lesson I learned from this.
Did you masturbate during that time?
No, I didn't. I felt like I did have a life-changing moment throughout that experience, but
you bathed in a jizz fountain.
No, I did absolutely
a jizz jacuzzi.
The best way I could describe it is like I had my deck of cards completely like shuffled. Like I ended up doing a lot, and I completely lost my mind, and I went through it alone. Well, partially alone, because I started at my friend's house, but my friend, we were having like a little get together, and that was a nasty bark. I'm sorry.
Barp. It was a barp.
It was a barp. Having a get together with a few friends, and I decided to take some because
partake.
It was a good partake of the fruit of the earth. But some of my friends were also drinking, and one of my friends, the one whose house I was at, he started having a panic attack on me, and that set me up to be in a bad place. And after he got calmed down, I made the rational decision to have someone come pick me up and take me home. The problem was, when I got home, everyone was asleep. So I had free reign of the house by myself.
Like a velociraptor.
At that point, like, I was pretty fried. I was ate up in the head. Like, I got in, immediately, like, walked to the kitchen, I took, like, probably 10 steps, and then I'm like, yep, I can't walk anymore. And I sat down.
You crawled around the house like a caterpillar.
Most of the time. Yeah, there is a few times where I relearned how to walk, but most of the time it was...
I'm getting visions of the Eric Carle book.
It's weird because, like...
It's just your head pasted over the caterpillar.
I don't... It's not what you think. Like, I expected, like, seeing, like, a lot crazier shit than I did, but it just felt like I was seeing everything in super ultra KHD or something stupid like that.
Okay.
But
have you ever read about the stoned ape theory?
Yeah, how humanity came from eating mushrooms. Like, shamans would take it and they're like, holy shit, I'm me.
Well, not just that, but...
they would see God and shit.
No.
No?
The stoned ape theory is... So
you hear about this from Joe Rogan?
Well, that was one of the places that I've heard about it, but I've actually read about it. So the three of us are in a tribe of hunter-gatherers, and we go out and we're hunting buffaloes or whatever, large herbivores, and we go to kill one, and a fucking saber-toothed tiger. No, we're scared. Blaine gets mauled to death by a saber-toothed tiger. We watch it happen, okay? That does massive... Watching someone else die, our brain is not really made.
It's not okay with that.
It's not okay with that, because then it, like, subconsciously, it's like, oh, fuck, you can die too. Hey, man, that can happen to you. And then it compounds eventually into what we're really honing in on now is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. There is direct correlation between psilocybin mushrooms and PTSD, where it actually rewires your brain. So you have a fear response from, say, that saber-tooth tiger. You partake in psilocybin mushrooms, the psychedelics, and it actually rewires your brain so you're no longer afraid of that. It completely removes your fear response. So the fear response is a totally learned behavior. The psilocybin says, nope, you're not afraid of that anymore. and then you conquer the fear, and then you don't have PTSD anymore. That's why that's not necessarily why, but the FDA is really honing in, or really keying in on the fact that psilocybin mushrooms would actually have a profound benefit to humanity because of what it can do for mental health.
Yeah.
So people that are schizophrenic, so I'm obviously cliff noting this, but there's a finite amount of the population on the earth right now that is predisposed to schizophrenia. Every human being has a small percentage of just manifesting into schizophrenia. Some people are born with it, some people manifest later in life. There are certain things that certain parameters that have to be met for your psyche to be schizophrenic. So that's why people who are like 40 years old and all of a sudden they're schizophrenic, and they say, well, you've been schizophrenic your whole life, it just hasn't manifested. Well, psilocybin mushrooms can have a negative effect where it actually makes that happen to you. But the amount of the population that are predisposed for that is extremely, extremely acute. Like, it is so fucking small. But the benefits of having something that can rewire your brain, completely remove learned behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff as simple as if we went to McDonald's right now and every one of us got a sandwich but no French fries and just water, you are more likely to eat just the sandwich and drink the water than you would be to eat the sandwich, take one bite of a French fry, eat another sandwich, and drink a Coke. The learned behavior is, I have this sandwich, I have now this extremely salty thing, which makes me more hungry, so I'm not full, I need to keep eating. Psilocybin mushrooms can say, nope, that's not how it is, to your brain, infinitely. So, it's actually cool to see the FDA being in, like, my fucking radar dish is up, because this might actually help us fucking continue to evolve. Because the Stone Ape theory is, well, we were kind of stuck. We found psilocybin mushrooms. Our brains evolved, so then our physical bodies evolved after that. And now here we are today.
That's what it's all about, because, like, we're not like gorillas. We can't just like take someone's head and rip it off. Like, we have to be smarter than everything around us to survive.
Well,
including like ourselves, like the shit we're doing to our planet, or not even necessarily that, but just like our local area, like all these chemicals we put in fields and shit. We need to, I don't know, maybe get some people fucked up so they can maybe think of better ways to do shit in the long run.
Here's the negative, though. The more people you expose to psilocybin, the amount of people that have early onset schizophrenia and stuff like that goes up exponentially, because then everybody is basically inoculated with psilocybin mushrooms. But what people don't realize is, if you look at any major ecosystem in the world, you have animals, you have plants, and you have fungus. Okay? The fungus is...
They have characteristics of both.
Well, yeah, but the fungus are directly tied to everything. Life on Earth could not exist without fungus. Fungus can exist by itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't need people. We have fungus on us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever form it may be. Fungus, if you... I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a fungus scientist. Super fucking smart dude. He was on an episode of Rogan.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Really,
I'll look it up.
Really jived with all the stuff that he was saying.
Does he have a beard?
Yeah. And he wore like a beret type hat. Or like a scally hat like Joe tries to wear. Except he looks not dumb like Joe. But, yeah, like, fungus is fucking cool. It's amazing, like, how little we as just regular people in society know about it, because...
Are you talking about Paul Stamets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paul Stamets. Yeah, look up Paul Stamets if you're interested in psilocybin mushrooms or just cool fungus shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have to check that episode of Rogan out.
That guy fucking knows, man. And he strongly disputes the stoned ape theory, but he
What's his name?
Paul Stamets.
Paul Stamets.
Stamets.
Stammots, right?
Yeah. Let me open it back up. Yeah, Stamets. Yeah, and this guy like travels the world just studying mushrooms his whole life, and he's talking about how he's taking them at such a young age, and he wasn't just doing it to get high. He's doing it to get high too, but he's doing it to like actually see like the effect it would have on himself.
Mm-hmm.
But back to
yeah, I didn't mean to hijack your story.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, we don't even need to keep talking about it, but like basically I did lose. It was a good kind of like lost my mind, but like kind of like what you're describing. I mean, I didn't have anything to feel less afraid of, but
it physically alters your brain chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
I do feel like I came out of it a bit different.
Cool.
But
a good friend of mine did them, and it totally did the opposite. It fucked his life up.
Did it really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry for that.
It totally ruined his brain.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the risk you take.
Yeah. But yeah, one bad thing that did happen is I ended up smashing one of my laptops.
Why did you smash a laptop?
Well, at one point, like, cause like
you tried to put it in your ass and it just
all your
buckled?
senses are really heightened, right? So at one point, I was in our kitchen, and I was playing with pots and pans, because I was at like the eye level with the bottom shelves and stuff. So I was messing with shit in there, losing my mind, talking to myself, laughing, having a good time by myself, and tapping these pans. Like, it would be so loud just tapping them. So I came to the reasonable conclusion that I was like a god of thunder or something.
Okay.
And I also ended up marrying that frying pan.
Okay.
And later on in the night, like, I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, I did decide, like, if I'm going to be a thunder god, I'm basically going to be like the earth is like my home and stuff. I'm like, I need to sacrifice something to the earth.
Okay.
So I went outside,
and you shoved an earthworm in your ass.
Yes. What's with you and asses today?
AJ wanted us to talk about butt stuff on the show.
We can talk about butt stuff later.
You're right, he did.
I sent you that video, by the way.
I'm currently downloaded in the podcast app.
But
thank you though.
Oh, I lost my track. Oh, yeah, I did go outside and I dug a hole in the dirt with like my bare hands, and then I also went back inside. I'm like, oh, I need to find something to sacrifice now. I'm like, and it had to be something like made by humans to keep us away from the earth. So I'm like, a laptop, and I took my laptop, I took it upstairs, and I just beat it into this hole that I dug in the ground, and it was making me mad because at the time I thought I was super fucking strong. And I was just mad that my computer just didn't absolutely just explode everywhere upon the first impact. So I got pissed and threw it at our little fire pit so hard that it knocked a brick over, and it really broke that laptop. But it was a used laptop, so it's not that big of a loss. It was only like only $180, which is still a lot, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever tried anything like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it.
All right, I didn't know if you were gonna disapprove or not.
I'd like to give it a try sometime.
I think you should be in a controlled environment the first time.
Mine was
your dosage should be really, really strongly controlled.
Did I tell you my dosage?
No.
It started out at 1.5
grams.
Yeah. It ended at 7 to 9 grams. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. I bought a half ounce.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I also ended up, that hole I was talking about earlier, I ended up burying some of it because I wanted to try and grow some in that state. So, it was a fun time. It wasn't that it wasn't that expensive though. Only $70.
You've been awful quiet during this conversation.
One, I was listening to. I was also trying to find that podcast episode. I ended up finding the Colin Moriarty one shortly before that too. So, which I really wanted to watch that one. I never did. Yeah, I'd like to give mushrooms a try.
Mm-hmm.
See what that's like.
It really inspired me to try and get back into ceramics, and I actually have a kiln that I'm able to buy. It's not far away, and it's reasonably cheap.
Cool.
So
don't burn your house down.
Yeah,
I don't plan on it. Don't burn Nate's house down.
Yeah. But it'll be in the basement. I think it'll be all right.
It'll be good. I know how to set up a kiln. My art teacher told me when I was in high school, or taught me how to keep a kiln functioning.
Very nice. I had an experience over shutdown where I tried to partake in something and I failed yet again.
You tried to put an earthworm up your ass?
Nope.
Did you try to put something up an earthworm's ass?
Nope.
Is it its ass or its mouth? No one knows.
No one knows.
Maybe both?
No.
This is going to be like the saltwater taffy. You can't just have one.
No. We imbibed in some stuff.
You imbibed? That's
and,
some verbiage.
I failed to inhale enough.
Okay.
And hold it in long enough.
Okay.
To really have any effect whatsoever.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
I just want one.
Oh. Because you know it's going to be a problem.
I was offered to partake in a substance a couple weekends ago. And I really wanted to.
As long as you're not smoking out of a light bulb.
And the next day I got randomed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did not.
That's scary.
Good call. Good call. Yeah, after like the first night of trying, because we still had plenty left, I just didn't keep going because I'm like, there's not enough days left to shut down for me to get this out of my system.
Yeet.
Yeet. It's a pretty laid back podcast today.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
Enjoying some.
We had some serious discussion. We had some science discussion.
Yeah.
Talked about Spider-Man.
And we're only an hour in.
How do you feel about the government shutdown, Tyler?
I think it's good. Keep it shut down.
Good topic. Good topic, because, Andrew Poor...
I haven't ranted about the government in a while.
No, you haven't. But Andrew Poor, he debuted his new show, Poor 360.
I never know what's going on with AB.
I know. This is like his fourth show. But, good for him. He keeps evolving his brand, and that's awesome. And today, the debut episode of Poor 360, which came out today, if you're listening to this show, it came out Tuesday. His debut topic was about the shutdown, the government shutdown, and this is now the longest in U.S. history.
So, I won't rant. I think I've moved on from the rants. I haven't had a topic strong enough or impactful enough on me to rant about in a while. But I will say this. As of today, we're at day what of the shutdown?
25.
25, okay. The government, the federal government, has been shut down for 25 days. Local governments are obviously still running.
Yeah.
My mail's still getting delivered.
Try this.
Wow. Finally get one.
You're 21 now.
Oh, yeah.
Is he 21 now?
He's 21 now.
I didn't know that. When the fuck was your birthday?
October
6th.
You didn't fucking... We were supposed to turn up. What the fuck happened to you? Now I'm pissed.
I washed up.
God, fuck you. But, we're at day 25. I drove to work today.
Oh, you're not letting me have all of it?
No.
I drove to work today.
This is my special shit.
Can I at least have the sticker?
I made it through my work day. I drove home. I'm still here. The federal government being shut down has not affected my life at all. So my vote, and I think anyone who listens to this show can probably know what I'm about to say, but keep it shut down. Fuck that government. I think we should have the military, and that should be the only portion of the federal government. And the United States should be ran state by state. I think the state level government should control what goes on within their borders. And if you don't like it, move to a state that fits your needs and your wants, and life will be easy.
Be kind of like the European Union or something like that. Well,
I mean, the European Union is more like our federal government. Just a little bit more liberal.
Progressive.
And they're also bankrupt.
Greece is definitely bankrupt.
Greece and Spain both.
They're fucked. I'm surprised a terrorist hasn't bought them.
How do you know they haven't?
How do you know we aren't ran?
How do you know they're not? How do you know they're terrorists?
What's the biggest consumer of opiates in the world, or the second biggest consumer of opiates in the world?
Us.
Europe. We're number one. They're number two.
Us.
You're just gonna keep saying us.
We do it.
Us as
we do the drugs.
We also provide the drugs.
Yeah, we do. That's why I was saying us.
But yeah, I mean,
I guess I didn't hear consumer. I just heard biggest drugs.
Yeah.
Biggest in drugs. And I'm like,
basically,
us.
Basically, what I'm getting at, you don't want none of this shit, do we?
We do drugs.
Basically, what I'm getting at is, as far as the United States goes at this point, we are fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
We are pathetic.
Yes.
We are pathetic, you know, on a lot of levels. Our healthcare, our government, infant mortality rates, education. We are just fucking pathetic. And I'm obviously guilty as anybody. You know, I'm a product of our public education system. I'm also a voting member of society. Okay.
I can't reach without spilling my mic or this.
Okay, God forbid you spill your microphone.
Yeah, don't spill the microphone, please.
You know, I mean, I'm as much a contributor to the problem because I'm not a contributor for the solutions. My solutions are a little bit more radical than most. Just fucking do away with it. Just let people live.
Yeah.
Like
let this be the land of the free. For
well,
once.
no, I mean, just do away with all government. I mean, in the perfect world, there is no government. You know what government there is? You govern yourself. There is, I guess I shouldn't say there's no government. There is very, very small government. Hey, Blaine.
Small community.
Blaine, you're in charge. Okay. Can I go fuck that goat? Nope. No fucking goats. Okay.
And no samesies.
No samesies. What about on Wednesdays?
No.
No samesies at
No
all?
samesies.
Okay.
Not just for a little while. We don't do samesies. Only do opposites.
But we're gonna do samesies again later.
Maybe later we can do samesies.
Okay. What's wrong?
There's not enough people.
God, I really like samesies.
So what if I want to get with her and get with her? But I promise I'll put people juice in both of them. Yes, do that. God, that video is so funny.
Yeah, God, it's classic too. It's amazing how many people don't know about it.
We played it during Drunkastrophe.
Oh, you did?
They just didn't get it.
Oh.
The drunks didn't get it.
But yeah, I mean, people are so reliant on bigger entities than themselves to survive.
Infrastructure. I enjoy. Like, I don't know. I love and I hate infrastructure. Like, a lot of it like holds me back.
So I have a different perspective on infrastructure than you do because I've seen other countries' infrastructure.
Yeah.
Our infrastructure is fucking pathetic.
Yeah,
compared to like Germany and shit.
Just compared to the European nations in general. Okay.
They just seem so much happier over there.
They are.
Here's the thing: people are miserable everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. People fucking suck. Okay.
Yeah.
They'll find a reason to be sad.
There's a German man, woman, or child right now being fucking stabbed to death by a Turkish immigrant. Like, they got problems too. It's bad everywhere. Remember.
They should have built a wall.
Remember, not long ago they were burning Jews.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, in the grand scheme of thing, it's not that long ago. They were burning Jews and gays and gypsies.
Not the gypsies.
Not the gypsies.
They're only stealing children and converting them into their Romanian little cult.
Yeah, but people fucking suck everywhere. And if you're reliant on yourself, people don't suck as bad. Because it's like, hey, Blaine, I see you grew some carrots.
Sure did, pal.
I like them carrots.
You can fuck off.
How about I give you this goat?
There you go, fuck.
Once it leaves,
I don't do the fucking of the goat, but I can definitely use its milk.
You can milk it and you can eat it.
I can milk it. It's got a teat.
And you can eat it.
Maybe only eat one leg at a time so you can keep getting that milk going.
If it's got a nipple, you can milk it.
Yeah. And you can fuck it.
Oh.
Fuck it while milking it.
No fucking animals.
Well, I'm just saying.
No fucking animals. No samesies.
I'm not telling you I fuck goats, but if you want to fuck a goat, I've got a goat that I'll trade you for a nice bundle of carrots. Now, obviously, we can't go back in time.
We can't.
Like it would be the best thing to happen if we could go back. If we could keep. If we could keep the healthcare advancements as far as modern medicine, but go back 200 years, like life would be good.
Just Amish and German Baptist, kind of. I mean, that's like the best example I could think of, kind of. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Because like they still all depend on each other. Like even though like they could take their standard soccer mom suburban car that for some reason they're like, okay, we can have those now. Like if you need medical attention, they'll take you to the hospital. But then they go back to like building barns and having farms and fucking goats. And nobody. The thing is, people are.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah,
I mean, just that last part.
The Amish have double wides.
No, and the thing is, like with communities like that, like nobody kills each other because you depend on each other. I mean, you probably kill other people, maybe, or if they got a piece of pie that you want.
Well, there's no sense of community anymore.
No, exactly. It's all about the individual. Mm-hmm. Especially with...
Which, if you are a self-reliant individual, you have the freedom to build communities.
Mm-hmm.
If you are totally reliant and you can't offer anything to a community...
You're an outcast.
Well, I mean, you should be, but in today's society, you're not. Everyone's included. And I don't...
Everyone gets a blue ribbon.
Yep. And I don't necessarily think that's okay. So, I don't know. Well, did you want to talk about a song?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a new song featuring posthumously Chester Bennington.
From Lamb of God's guitarist?
Yeah, Mark Morton.
Yeah, Mark Morton.
Yeah,
it's his solo album.
Yeah, which this isn't the first time he's done something outside of Lamb of God. He did something years ago with Des Fafara from Devil Driver, where it was like this really bluesy, like almost outlaw.
I remember listening to that. I really dug it.
Yeah, it was different. I mean, especially with Des singing and stuff, you don't hear that very often. The most I've heard him sing was on the Devil Driver cover of Iron Maiden's "Wasted Years." Excellent cover, by the way.
Yeah, I'm all about the covers.
Oh, yeah. But no, this is different. This is like a full-fledged solo effort that apparently has been going on for a couple years now because, you know, we're coming up on 2 years on Chester this July. I mean, so I guess half a year from now will be 2 years. But, so yeah, basically 2 years ago he recorded this. And it fucking slays. Like,
yeah, I really dig it.
This is some good shit. Like,
the first time I listened to it, it was really weird for me because, you know, I'm obviously a big fan of Linkin Park, like a lot of people, like most people, I guess I should say, because of how popular they were. But it was weird for me to hear Chester's voice singing lyrics that I've never heard before.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, it was almost this surreal experience of, this isn't right, because I've never heard it before, you know?
Yeah, here's the song. It's called Cross Off. It's, yeah. Like, this is the Chester we know. It's not this poppy shit. I mean, his voice has evolved, definitely, but it's different. I mean, you got, plus, like, the fucking ripping riffs that fucking Mark Morton has.
One thing that I don't like is everyone is, like, overanalyzing these lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you have to acknowledge, like, what the lyrics are because of, you know, his life and how we lost him. But just appreciate hearing his voice again.
Yeah.
Something new, you know. Let's debate the lyrics of the song later. Let's appreciate it for what it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if lyrics have good flow, like, the song could be garbage. As long as it has good flow, it doesn't matter.
Ooh, I was about to stop it, but then it's like, I hear this solo.
Yeah, finish it after solo.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, don't kick us off iTunes. Don't get mad at us,
please.
But yeah, I mean, when you told me to listen to it the other day, I had like seen a notification of the new song like an hour before you texted me, and I was like, it's just like. Before I looked into it, I was like, it's just someone sitting in a fucking in a studio with a big ass fucking audio board, and they're just mixing in Chester vocals, and it's just gonna piss me off. Because one thing I like it when artists use other artists' material, you know, obviously legally, but
I mean, look at Eminem; he's
right.
done it millions of times.
Right. I always dig that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What I don't like is like throwing in people's vocals, especially like soon after they're gone, because now they can't say one way or the other. Like, yeah, I want you to feature me on that song.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird place for me, but I was totally surprised because that was the way that I listened to it. I watched that video so I could read the lyrics. Fucking incredible. See, I mean, that's really the only way I can describe it.
See, I listened to it first without, like, I pulled up that video, but it was in my car and I was on my way to the gym or work or something. And I just threw the phone down and just let it play over my speakers. And God, such a good song.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a great, it's
totally out of the blue too. It's not something that I expected in January.
Oh, you know? I know. And, you know, it's so cool to hear his voice again, and it's so cool to hear his voice like that again.
Like you and I are used to hearing.
Yeah. I mean,
not on a Transformers soundtrack.
Yeah, they had two of them on there. They had, the first Transformers, and then I think I think Dark of the Moon had another one, The Great Divide. Or Great Divide, yeah.
Man, what happened to Transformers?
I'm hearing good things about Bumblebee.
Yeah, me too. I obviously haven't seen it. I'm probably not going to see it till it's out on.
I forgot Bumblebee is out.
I'll hit the
I didn't even know
red
it came
box
out.
down by the Dollar General.
Is that Dragon Ball movie come out tomorrow? Or
Tomorrow.
Next week?
Tomorrow.
And apparently it's playing for a while.
Yeah, I'm probably going to see it next Thursday.
You want to go watch it with me?
If you're interested.
Okay.
7 p.m. Wabash 99.
All right.
Thursday, January 24th.
It's playing 7 p.m. like every day that it's on there.
Text me
Monday
that.
it's playing at noon.
Oh.
Text me that.
I'll be going again, so.
Are you going to go with us if he's going?
More than likely. Like I said, play it by ear depending on how my schedule's going, but.
Judging from the trailers, it looked like fucking, what was his name? Broly? He looks like he was really clapping some ass. But I have a feeling they're just gonna combine together and they're like, now we're gonna clap your ass, and then the movie's gonna
and then fade out.
It is confirmed Gogeta is in this.
Gogeta and Broly tag teaming a goat.
that poor goat.
That poor goat.
The goat Super Saiyan. Just getting pounded. Like Krillin.
I went Super Saiyan once.
I started
and then you fucked a goat. We're stuck on the goat fucking right now.
I guess.
Folks, I'm sorry.
I guess that's what we're doing.
Shoved a whole goat up his ass.
What is happening?
I don't know. All this energy. But yeah, I started watching a little bit of Dragon Ball again, but then I started watching those Godzilla movies, so I'm just going back.
Which Godzilla movie are you on right now?
I am on. See, the thing is, I looked through it, and I don't think they do have every movie.
Are you just doing like at random? Or
I wanted to do it. I want to do it in order. I finished.
I still have the original 1950s one on VHS.
On VHS, wow.
But
you know they came out with a sequel, like an actual genuine sequel to it.
Really?
The only confirmed. Besides the one I'm talking about, the only the only canon confirmed one that's a sequel is Godzilla 1985.
Okay.
The other one kind of got scrubbed from history. No one really knows about it.
But yeah,
it's almost like history's first straight to VHS film. I don't know.
But yeah,
I mean it was big in Japan.
I have a lot of the original Godzilla movies on DVD now.
Really? The second one just never made it to America, I think, and it had Anguirus, it had Rodan. I think it actually now I'm thinking about it, only had Anguirus.
Yeah, is that Godzilla Raids Again? Or
yes,
that's the one I watched last night.
Nice.
That's the second one on the thing. The third one, I was looking at them
pull that up while we're talking about it.
The third one,
this is a good way to kind of tail out the show. Pull up Godzilla chronologically.
I think the third one is Godzilla versus King Kong chronologically, but I don't think
I really dig that one. That's one of my favorites.
I don't think that one came with my box set.
That fucking fight scene at the beginning, when when King Kong fights that octopus, it's so fucking good.
Yeah. All right, we got every Godzilla movie in order.
I'll tell you which ones I got.
Godzilla, 1954. Godzilla Raids Again.
Got that one.
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yep,
That's damn.
Mothra, I knew Mothra was next.
Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. I remember that one. Godzilla versus Monster Zero, which is also King Ghidorah. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. That was a weird one. That was
the fucking crab.
They're on the island. They get stuck on the island. Son of Godzilla.
I don't think that one's in my box set.
Don't remember watching that one.
That one came in a box set that I got at Walmart.
Destroy All Monsters. I had a Sci-Fi Channel recorded version of that.
That I think that's arguably the best Godzilla movie. Besides the one with the little kid on the radio.
All Monsters Attack, which is the one where
that's the one I'm talking
about. The bullied schoolboy dreams of traveling to Monster Island, where he befriends Godzilla's son, who is also having bullying troubles.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Is that the one where he looks like a really creepy Godzilla monster? Is that the one you're talking about?
Godzilla versus Ghidorah, aka the Smog Monster.
Yep.
That one was a big favorite of mine during my youth.
I've got that one too.
Gigan.
Gigan was always cool.
Megalon, which brought back Gigan. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Classic.
Yes. Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Which one's the one with the Foo dog or whatever you want?
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's
Godzilla
what I
versus
thought.
Mechagodzilla. I find it funny that they did this so weird. Normally, like in my mind, when you have a villain, you do the villain,
and then you go on to another villain,
and then you wait a little bit, and then you bring back. No, they're like Gigan, Megalon, and then the Megalon one has Gigan in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get Mechagodzilla, and then they did Terror of Mechagodzilla, and it's like what? And that was the last one they did in this era.
And that one's got what was it called? Like
Titanosaurus.
Yep. Like the smaller Godzilla that's not really Godzilla.
Yeah, it was bullshit. And he had like this, I don't know, it was just weird. But from there we went to, I can't remember what this era was called, like the Heisei or Toho era or something. And so we got Godzilla 1985, followed by Godzilla versus Biollante.
I've never seen that one.
Biollante?
Isn't Biollante
That was
like
one
a
of the
plant
first
one?
ones. Yeah, that was one of the first ones I saw.
I think I saw that when I was really
They
young.
basically they genetically modified
After
plant
rising
cells.
from his volcanic grave, Godzilla is threatened by a mutated rose bush.
It's a lot cooler than it thinks.
Yeah,
Than
it's
it
like
sounds.
I've never seen that one.
It's like an alligator rose.
What they do is they splice Godzilla's G cells with plant cells, and somehow that mutates and
Gangster
grows.
cells.
Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, which brings in the
Came out in
fucking
the year of my birth.
that brings in Mecha King Ghidorah because they go to the future to get the tech and raise the fucking
Oh yeah.
Godzilla and Mothra, the battle for Earth.
Good one.
I've never seen that one.
That's a good one.
In the midst of another rampage by Godzilla, fucking Godzilla, rampaging again, Mothra emerges to save the human race from Batra.
Yeah, that one's got the bat monster.
Yep, I remember Batra. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. The United Nations assembles the ultimate weapon to defeat Godzilla, while scientists discover a fresh pterodon egg on a remote... What did I say? Pteranodon.
I helped you.
Thank you. Egg on a remote Japanese island. Godzilla versus Space Godzilla.
That's top 5 my most favorite.
That's the one with the big crystals on his back, right? Yeah. And he's like levitating and shit.
And
I saw that one.
The theory is that that's actually Biollante reborn, which is Biollante's from,
because wasn't Biollante like destroyed and tossed into space?
Yeah,
into
his essence like went up into space,
and they got
and then he mutated again because he's got fucking Godzilla's G cells.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Godzilla versus Destroya.
I like Destroya.
Me and Blaine talked about Destroya.
I fucks with Destroya pretty hard.
He looks pretty bad.
I ended
he
up
looks like a dragon.
For a short time. My penis was named the Adult Destroyer
Okay.
because at some point they say, "Oh my God, it's an Adult Destroyer," and it's like, like some of those dubs are so bad sometimes.
I love them though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want them to be.
But
good.
I heard that and I'm like, that sounds like the name for a penis. I'm gonna name my penis that.
I've had some funny experiences in the new.
So let me ask you this, because I don't know, and I don't remember if we've talked about it or not. But is Godzilla 1998 canon?
Actually, technically, yeah. So moving forward, we got Godzilla 1998, the American Godzilla, like the OG American Godzilla.
Reminds you more of Titanosaurus a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of people were pissed off about that.
See, I actually liked.
I did too because
Godzilla
I was
1998.
a kid. I was a kid and I loved it. It was riding on the tails of the Lost World Jurassic Park. So it had the baby Godzillas,
which were like Velociraptors.
Yeah, they were the Velociraptors, and that whole scene was like almost straight out of Jurassic Park.
Right.
Godzilla 2000.
Dude, okay, so I got to stop and talk about this for a minute. I remember when Godzilla 2000 came out. I fucked with that movie so hard. Like, Blockbuster was calling my house to get that fucking movie back.
It was a prize.
And I was just racking up late charges. Like, fuck you, Blockbuster. Took it back to Blockbuster, paid the late charges, went to Hollywood Video that same day, rented it from Hollywood Video, and then started racking up late charges there. Fuck y'all's, this is my movie now.
Yeah.
God, it was so good, too.
Orga's
At the time, it was
and
really,
you know,
really
that
good.
spawned a whole nother set of fucking Godzilla movies. Because, yeah, that's the one that he fights Orga.
Mm-hmm.
Orga's probably my favorite monster.
Orga's a beast in Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Yep.
Yeah, giant fucking claw arms.
I've never seen Godzilla versus Megaguirus.
Yeah, that's the next one. It's funny. Godzilla 2000 came out in 99, which I'm guessing that came out in Japan in 99. And it came out in America in 2000.
Yep.
Godzilla versus Megaguirus. Never saw that one either. It's just a giant car-sized dragonflies called Meganula and their queen, Megaguirus.
Okay.
Japan creates an artificial black hole device to trap Godzilla forever, but a test of this device creates new foes for Godzilla. The next one, which is out of this series, but it's a standalone. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters, all-out attack.
Okay, I remember that one. 3
ancient guardian beasts awaken to protect Japan against Godzilla. So in this one, Ghidorah is a protagonist.
Huh.
He's like kind of the official, the official fucking like nemesis to. He's always been the nemesis to Godzilla. Like he's always been like Godzilla's.
That Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla definitely, but King Ghidorah is. I would put him above Mechagodzilla in terms of a nemesis.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen or heard about the Godzilla animes that came out?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, my roommate Tony was watching them the other day, actually.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for one of the new episodes like yesterday, which really got me intrigued.
Oh, for the anime?
Mm-hmm.
They're movies, actually.
Okay. But, like, what I was going to say, one of the things that I like about Godzilla, you kind of hinted at it, or we talked about it earlier when you said it's weird the way that they do the antagonists in the films, because you pretty much have that same villain twice in a row.
Yeah.
But I've always liked Godzilla's kind of cast of allies. You know, you have Mothra and Rodan, and what was the...
Anguirus.
What?
Anguirus.
That's a little armored dinosaur turtle? Yeah, okay.
With spikes.
Yep.
Jet Jagger.
Yep. Fucking Mechagodzilla becomes an ally for a short period of time.
No.
Yeah.
When?
What was the fucking one where Godzilla and Mechagodzilla were fighting, and then something bigger came? I thought it was fucking Space Godzilla.
I think it is Space
when they both fought Space Godzilla.
No,
together.
Isn't that a different robot?
That's
suit?
Mogira.
Yeah, that's Mogira. That's the one that has like the little pin nose thing.
Yeah, and
on
it
its
can
face.
separate.
It turns into a flying form, and
I can't remember.
That's
but either way,
in Space Godzilla. They have Mogira.
Like, that's what I'm thinking about, then I'm sure. But I like how, like, especially with, like, Mothra and Rodan, like, it's, oh, no, we need to fight. Oh, shit, we don't need to fight because there's something bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Godzilla versus Monster Zero.
Mm-hmm.
That Rodan and Mothra and Godzilla all team up against King Ghidorah. Monster Zero. Okay, so going back to the list, after Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, giant monsters, all-out attack, we have Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, which brought in Mechagodzilla 3, and which they actually took the skeleton from the original 1954 Godzilla from the bottom of the ocean, and they basically turned it into a mech suit.
So, for people that aren't super Godzilla nerds like us, elaborate on how there is a continually rampaging Godzilla and the 1954 Godzilla is at the bottom of the ocean.
I can't remember. I can't remember why this Godzilla exists.
Well, the 1954 Godzilla and the new one that we have now. Well, not the new one that we have now, but the original one was a byproduct of nuclear war.
Yes.
From the atom bombs dropping.
Now the new one's nuclear waste, right?
No, the new one was here before us, and we tried to kill it with nukes. But what I thought was Well, fuck, now I can't remember. I lost it. I lost what I had. But anyway.
I just think, like, it's one of those movies where they just keep retconning?
Yeah, it really is. They do.
Then we move on to Godzilla Tokyo SOS.
Yeah, which
really dug that one.
Once again, I haven't seen either of these.
Oh, they're both real good.
If you have them, I will definitely borrow them.
I don't
and watch
have
them.
I have the classic.
Oh,
I have
I'll
the
check if
classic
I have them.
ones.
I think you do. But yeah, these are both Mecha Godzilla movies.
All right.
There was a bunch free on Comcast for a long time.
I remember there was
Comcast.
there's like a few newer. There's one in like 2013 or something that was really weird.
Final Wars was good.
Final Wars, yeah, that's a standalone one. I don't think this involved this era of Godzilla.
No.
But this is the one that Japan or Toho Company was finally like, okay, we accept American Godzilla, but we're gonna just call it Zilla. And they made him look like the biggest bitch. Like he was in this fight with Godzilla for like all of 7 seconds in Sydney, Australia. Like it was there was like a montage of just Godzilla going around to all the major cities in the world and fighting various monsters in each city. Yeah,
he basically traveled abroad and just beat that ass.
Yeah, and I think the Monster X in that movie was just like an upgraded Gigan.
If I remember right, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was just like a super upgraded Gigan and actually looked really badass. Going from there, that's 2004. Jump 10 full years.
Yeah, we went 10 years without a Godzilla movie.
And we get Godzilla, the 2014 by Gareth Edwards. I loved this movie. This was a good movie.
I really dug it. Mine's Bryan Cranston.
I actually don't think I've seen that one.
I can let you borrow it.
I've seen Shin Godzilla. That's the one I was talking about.
I refuse to watch Shin Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla is really weird, and it doesn't feel like a Godzilla. It's like I don't know. It wasn't Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla was. It just looks like complete garbage, and it takes everything away from the Godzilla we know. It's just weird.
Starts it out as like this weird creature that just keeps evolving.
Yeah,
and it also does this thing like when he does his beam, like his bottom jaw like splits in half. Kind of like you ever play Halo, like the Elites. It looks like the Elite kind of.
Yeah, don't like it. Not a fan.
Its tail eventually has like a bunch
face or skeletons coming out of it.
Yeah, it has like a bunch of like little weird reptilian skeletons.
No, that was like at the very end for like
after it's frozen.
Yeah, after it's frozen, they do that at the very end to show like these skeletons coming off it for like a sequel or whatever. And then we got the
Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, which is the anime. It's a 3-part anime on Netflix. I've yet to watch it.
I've seen parts of it, and it looks actually really good.
I started watching it, but I obviously didn't finish even the first part. But
well, I watched a few lore videos over it, so I kind of understand what's going on.
Yeah, he's been so deep into Godzilla, he's been looking up lore videos, which is what I've been doing.
For real, if you want to, like, get away from the dungeon, like, come hang out with me and we'll watch fucking Godzilla.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, I'll have class tomorrow.
Okay. But yeah, the next movie I'm up to watch is Godzilla and King Kong, so... That is hands down my favorite. I think 2000, out of the ones I've seen so far, 2000 is probably my favorite.
Godzilla vs. King Kong is my favorite classic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call that era of Godzilla, the classics.
Yeah. But...
Because Godzilla 2000 is hard to beat. Yeah. Personally, I think Godzilla 2000 is a better film than the one that we got in 2014. If you are a Godzilla fan.
See, the entire reason I really like 2014...
was Bryan Cranston.
No, not at all. That was like the biggest disappointment of the movie besides only 10 minutes of screen time for Godzilla.
That's naturally what he is.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I did...
You gotta look... Sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're all right. I interrupted you.
You really gotta look at Godzilla 2014 not as a Godzilla flick, but as a natural disaster flick.
I thought you were gonna be like, thought it was gonna be like Cloverfield or something.
No, you got to look at it like those movies that it's just like a natural disaster is looming, happens, and then you deal with aftermath or during, like one of those fucking giant storm, like a giant storm movie where the storm is just happening and people are.
It's Day After Tomorrow, but better.
Yeah,
that's why I think it's exciting about the new movies, because it straight up kind of looks like some 2012 shit, but with Godzilla.
If you watch
all the monsters,
if you watch the 2014 Godzilla, the movie is entirely about our reaction to this stuff, because it takes place completely from a human standpoint. I mean, okay, we get occasional shots of monsters fighting and shit and monsters doing shit, but it's almost completely from a human standpoint. And Gareth Edwards has this awesome way of directing and getting these camera angles where
God, his cinematography
is
hard on.
I know, because he has this great way of showing scale, which we've never truly gotten in a Godzilla movie. We've always seen Godzilla full shot. We've we've very rarely seen it
from the person's eye view,
from a person like inside a building looking at just skin,
a massive
massive
body.
Skin moving across a window. It's like, and Gareth Edwards, he just did such a phenomenal job of showing the scale of the monster he created.
I think that's one of the reasons where, because I do like Cloverfield, but I'm also I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't like the shaky camera thing. But I do that is one cool thing about the scale. You could see its foot just, and you can see cars. You have a really good scale of how big this thing, or it looked pretty good.
So, one of the reasons I didn't like Godzilla 2014 as well as Godzilla 2000 or any of the, classic Godzilla films for me, I said the Bryan Cranston thing kind of tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
He's barely in the film, so I can't blame it on him as much as I'd like to. I really didn't like the monsters.
Oh, yeah, I agree. They kind of sucked.
The Mutos.
The
were just kind of piss poor. They were like first act monsters that Godzilla would whoop the shit out of before Ghidorah or something else showed up. They weren't end game shit for me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what this is. Well, this isn't even end game.
What is it?
Godzilla King of the Monsters coming up.
Right.
Which I'm honestly shocked that they're
bringing Ghidorah out this soon.
They're bringing Ghidorah out before King Kong.
Well, yeah.
Well, that was the thing that I was going to get to next.
Kong Skull Island's part of that thing, though.
It is.
So as much as I say I disliked Godzilla 2014, which isn't the right way to say it, I just didn't like it as much as Godzilla 2000, which I think if we never got Godzilla 2014, that is the best Godzilla movie we've ever had. 2000.
Yeah.
I loved Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island
borrow
was great.
it, and I was like, man, I'm not really into King Kong. I only like him when he's getting his ass whooped by Godzilla. And you're like, no, dude, this is incredible. And I was like, man, is it better than what would have been 2004 King Kong?
The Peter Jackson King Kong?
The Peter Jackson King Kong.
I think it was 04, 05.
Which I really, really liked. I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, dude, it's fucking top notch. It's cheesy when it needs to be cheesy. It's over the top cheesy, which I normally shit on, but I really dug it in this movie, and I was like, okay, if you can acknowledge the fact that there is over the top cheesy moments that you would normally shit on, which I'm the same way, but you still liked the movie, I'm all about it. And I loved it.
Yeah.
That was one of the best movies that I watched last year.
And it's one of the few movies where John C. Reilly isn't a complete idiot.
Dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dumbass. That's even better said than idiot in in all seriousness. He's
you ever watch Dr. Steve Brule?
Yeah.
I think that show did permanent damage to that guy. I think that guy might have lost quite a few brain cells from that show.
Well, John Goodman in Kong Skull Island did such a good job of making you hate him as a character, like Matt Damon did in Interstellar. And Tom Cruise did in Edge of Tomorrow.
It's really funny you bring both of those movies up because last week we did the Doctor Strange review, or we didn't do it, but that's what we
re-aired it.
We re-aired it, and you talked about that on that show.
So yeah, I mean, I really appreciated John Goodman's character in Kong Skull Island. I really, really enjoyed the kind of diverse ecosystem that Skull Island had.
What was it, like Daddy Longlegs thing that blended to the bamboo forest?
Yeah,
that part was one of my favorite parts.
Awesome.
They turn around, that guy's like fucking scared.
Yeah. So I mean that
and I think it was just walking. It wasn't even being malevolent.
It just happened to skewer somebody. But Kong Skull Island gave me a lot of like flashback nostalgia to what's the one with the little Japanese kid? The Godzilla with the little Japanese kid. I always forget what it's called.
All Monsters Attack or something like that?
Yeah.
I was going to say, we just went through the list.
Right, but it gives me a lot of nostalgia for watching that as a kid because between Destroy All Monsters and that movie, there is such a large cast of monsters that you get to see in those films. You know, you get to see the giant spider. You get to see the giant praying mantis. You get to, I mean, there's just so much cool shit on Godzilla's little hidey hole of an island that, I mean, the whole time I was watching Kong Skull Island, I was on the edge of my fucking seat like this, like a little fucking boy.
Yeah.
Like I was 15 years ago watching.
That movie had so much reused footage from Son of Godzilla and Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
It's okay. I never cared about that.
So much reused footage.
But I mean, like, nostalgia factor, like Skull Island put me in such a good, like, Godzilla 2014 set Skull Island up for me. I think if I wouldn't have watched,
because it sets up Monarch and all that,
right? If I wouldn't have watched Godzilla prior to that, I don't think I would have enjoyed Skull Island as much, just because, you know, Godzilla 2014. As much as I hate origin stories, it set it all up. I mean, it opened the door and laid out the carpet exactly how it needed to. Mm-hmm. And now we're in a good place for Godzilla. We've got a diverse fucking roster of monsters.
Well, you're talking about diverse. I think they might be adding a few new monsters. There's a theory that they might be adding a giant scorpion.
Totally okay with that.
Yeah, and that one deserty part with where the claws are going up. People are saying that's definitely going to be a scorpion.
Totally okay with it.
And then there's another part where,
I want to see more shit like Godzilla versus the smog monster. I mean, I want to see Godzilla versus the sea monster. I want to see like really over the top shit like that. I mean, you have your strong cast. Mothra and Rodan. If you can't have anyone else, Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah. Like, those are your three. Bring Mechagodzilla in way down the line. You know.
I mean, unless we bring in aliens, I don't believe Mechagodzilla fits in this universe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yet.
Like, way down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a lot of setup.
I think it's going to be over after King Kong. That's a Godzilla Kong. I think it'll be over.
See, but I want it to be like
we're not Japan.
I want it to be classic Godzilla, where we do it over and over again.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
If you keep making movies the same caliber of Godzilla 2014, you can do that.
Mm-hmm. But they're also not. You also got to remember they're not Marvel.
No,
they're not Disney Marvel. They can't just keep cranking them out.
But it's up to us to make sure they can keep cranking them out.
Don't illegally download the movie.
If enough of us go to the box office and watch it, we'll get more Godzilla.
Exactly.
You know, you and I and Cameron talked a little bit ago about how we went 10 years without a Godzilla film.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see the 2004 Godzilla anyway. So I went over 10 years without a Godzilla film.
Yeah, I didn't see that was Godzilla Final Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch. I skimmed through it just to see the Zilla part, and otherwise it just had like this really shitty human plot. The human plots were always so shitty,
but they were comical.
But this was like extra shitty.
Speaking of comical, like watching the dubs there's like so many funny parts where their dubs are just so shitty that it makes me laugh. Like
I love it though.
That's
why
you're
I
talking about
like
the
it so
first
much.
one. There's literally a part where this lady's like, "Oh, you're so brief," and he's like, "Oh, banana oil," like, or something stupid like that. And then there's another part in that movie where Godzilla shoots down a plane, and
he told me all this earlier.
I know, it's super funny though. And the scientist is like, "How horrible!" and like 20 people die in this plane, and all I could do is this. Oh, that's horrible. And he says it was almost a straight face. It is. I've been laying in my bed just watching it, fucking laughing.
Are you stroking yourself?
Slightly.
That's
like,
fair.
Thigh rubbing.
Just a nice thigh rub with like taking your thumb and like cranking it in your taint.
I call that the God Stitch now.
Okay. All right.
God Stitch.
Well, we here at Podcastrophe love Godzilla.
And taints.
Absolutely.
And taints. We're down a Matt today, but we're +1 Cameron.
Yes.
Which is always a surprise.
It adds a lot. It adds a lot to the spectrum.
It adds a lot and takes away.
Surprisingly, not as raunchy as usual, Cameron.
No.
What do you mean raunchy?
I mean, we were talking about fucking goats for a while.
Well, there was that.
That was mostly me.
There's normally a certain level of sexcapades with him.
Yeah, I mean, the new girl I'm talking to, like...
She's a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Does she have a dyke haircut?
No, she's pretty girly. Which is why I was surprised. She's wanting to be a blacksmith in Hawaii.
She doesn't want to peg you.
I don't know yet.
The door's still open on that.
She
hasn't strapped up
She
yet.
said some nasty things like, I want you to tie me up and choke me. I just want you to fucking ruin me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I need to get my Bible out.
Lordy Lord.
Whew, I'm working up a sweat. Yeah, other than that, I've been focusing more on myself, not trying to get Tinder girls all the time.
It's weird. I told you like a year ago to do that.
Focus on myself?
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, it took some psychedelics to really jumpstart that.
God forbid you listen to like a respectable friend that you have. I mean, shit. But, yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but, you know, I'm that respectable friend.
I mean, that's really all I got to say today.
I mean, I'm doing good at saving up money and stuff. Did I tell you about my idea for, like, what I dream of having as a house?
A sex change?
What the fuck? What did...
Are you making the transition?
Ducked. Call me ma'am.
There's enough duct tape on that Peter right now to sink a battleship.
Or keep it floating.
Who knows?
No, I've been thinking long and hard about this, and I think I kind of want to save up for a try and get like a pole barn house eventually, because Calvin talked about it, and I thought it sounded like a good idea.
It is a very reasonable way to live.
I would definitely enjoy having all my living stuff on one side. I kind of want it 2-story, so it would be like 2 stories like of living quarter on one side, and then the rest of it just be an open shop. That'd be ideal for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be tight.
Do a 60 by 80 pole barn. You build a floor on top, so you have a second floor that's, like a 2,000 square foot house, 4-bedroom, big living room, moderate kitchen. Then you have all the shop space down below.
Well, I was thinking, not even second story, like big open shop. I mean, there would be second story elements.
And then you have
Like a loft.
then you have space above you that you have to waste money trying to heat.
That is true.
If you put a floor up top, you're money ahead. Then you have more shop space down below.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dad's put a lot of time and effort into designing his. When I go to build, when I sell my house that I live in now, that's what I'm building.
Hell yeah, pole barn. Where are you gonna build it?
Wherever I can buy land at a reasonable price.
Ideally, what I was wanting to
barn
do
life.
is, I mean, they're fucking just cheap to build. So why not? And they kind of look. I mean, I don't know. They just look easier to take care of than an actual house.
Pay me and I'll run all your electrical. There you go.
All right. But what was I saying? Yeah, ideally, I'd want if I could find a small house that has a decent sized lot out in the country, and I could just buy that house and kind of semi-live in there till I build the pole barn, and then live in there, and then like rent out that house or whatever. Just have as whatever. I almost did actually exactly that like earlier this year, but the house was definitely too much. It would be too much work. It wouldn't be worth it. But yeah, I did find a house in Cutler for like $40,000. It was
Just a couple houses down from Heritage Greg.
Heritage lives in Burlington.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he lived in Burlington.
He told us he lived in fucking Cutler.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I knew him outside of
Oh
work.
yeah, he told us all about it.
Yeah, it's weird. He knew my crazy meth dad.
Yeah, he told us about all the times he touched you as a child.
Oh shit.
Not your dad, Heritage Greg.
Yeah. But rub my balls on his peach fuzz head.
Sure. Remember that time I was talking shit about his leg, and then I asked him that one day. I was like, "Hey, Greg, tell me why your leg's fucked up." And then,
he had a fucked up leg.
Then he pulled up. Then he pulled out the world's smallest violin and started playing it, talking about how he got ran over as a kid and almost fucking died. And I was like, "Oh,
that's Heritage."
I legitimately feel bad for saying that.
Did he come in with Tiffany?
No, he came in before Tiffany.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant with Tiffany. Like,
no, he
shit.
came in before Tiffany and myself. It
Yep.
was Greg, Tiffany, then Jacob and I came in after that, and then Cameron was the next round.
Joe
Man,
just came
sucked.
in Tiffany.
Greg was better than Tiffany.
Yeah, he was, but he still sucked.
Oh, we got my replacement today.
Her name's Wilma. She looks like spring, just 20 years
Open
older.
mouth, bath lips. Oh, and Desiree gave me a nice parting gift of a discussion planner for my septum.
I warned you about that.
I warned you about it too, and I'm not even there anymore. And Desiree's a bitch.
I warned you about that when I was team leader a couple weeks ago. I told you, she said she doesn't want to see that shit anymore.
I want her to fucking... Jennifer watching?
Probably not. Don't say anything.
Alright.
I have the freedom to say whatever the fuck I want.
Fuck yeah. Go ahead and say it.
Desiree's a bitch.
Well, yeah, I'll
She's
say
fucking-
that too.
she's
useless.
She's on her phone constantly.
Dude, I was playing on my phone on 15, texting that girl, and Desiree would always be sitting at her desk, and I'd lean back, look at her, see if she's still sitting. And I saw her pull out her phone, and she's like laughing and giggling on it. I'm like, bitch, you're not fucking using that for work. You're probably...
Mike called her out on it when he got nailed for his phone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, 1.5 the other day, they literally didn't do their work. Like, they didn't pull their sashes on 14.
Like I always threw a fit about.
Right, and I was like, whatever, I'll let it pass. Like, we have a person dedicated to quality check just doing those, so it's not going to get out. So
so that's how it got to 14, or how it got to 16.
Yeah,
that was Todd. That was Todd that did that.
God, what a fucking,
I was working with him.
What a
and it
shocker there.
I was working with him, and it was one of the first cars. He's like, he noticed it as it was going into the robot
really?
zone. He's like, oh shit, that didn't have it.
But yeah, dude,
they'll catch it down there.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even what pissed me off. Like, it's shitty. Like, do your job, but whatever. what pissed me off is, like, Jennifer bitched about it, and then Desiree comes over to me, yells at me about it, telling me, like, I need to know my processes and stuff, and I literally told her, I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. Sorry, I'll do better next time. And then me and Calvin watched her just walk back to her desk, sit there, not pull out her walkie-talkie or anything. Bitch yelled at me, didn't even do anything to 1.5, who literally did not do their job. Like, so fucking backwards. Only we get punished for our shit and everyone else's shit. Stupid. Ready to go to night shift.
That's how it's always been.
Or trim. I don't give a fuck.
Even when we were on Beeline, even when Desiree and I were on Beeline, she bitched about the same exact thing from Sealer 1 on Beeline. Because Beeline used to be split up into Sealer 1, Sealer 2, just like we are. And she would bitch about the exact same thing.
Bitches ate up.
Power changes a person.
Yeah, I know.
No, power shows who people truly are.
That's also very true. That's also very true.
I'm done talking.
Are you?
Tyler has power. He's an electrician.
I got the power!
Down.
But yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. Like,
don't.
I'm not going to. It's not worth it. Not worth the energy. I'm just ready to go full time and let things be. And if I stay in the Sealer deck, like, I'll visit you guys sometime. And
suck my dick occasionally.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was talking about like Blaine, like daytime specifically. I hope to suck your dick every day.
Okay, you were supposed to turn your hand over and go like that, but you ruined it.
I was just trying to hold your hand.
I don't want to hold your hand.
Oh, that's alright. It's pretty clammy from holding this.
I want to go eat.
Yeah, I'm pretty ready to eat.
Let's wrap it up.
Ready to call this?
I'm
All
ready.
Right. One thing, definitely before we begin the plugs, coming in April, shortly after April 14th.
Okay, we need to talk about this real quick.
Oh, okay.
So we can't wrap this up. Go ahead and plug your show.
So shortly after April 14th, which is a Sunday, which we all know it comes out on HBO on Sundays, Game of Thrones. The final season is airing as of April 14th. And shortly after that, we will record the very first episode of Game of King Chairs podcast, which will be the companion mini-series to go along with the Game of Thrones final season, where we just sit and discuss the episode that aired that week. And it's only going to be 6 episodes long. It's going to be short. It's going to be sweet.
They're all going to be like 4.5 hours long.
Is Game of Thrones any good?
Oh, fuck yeah, it is.
Guys.
What's up?
Guys. Blaine.
Yeah.
I'm getting caught up on Game of Thrones.
I know you are.
Like, I've been waiting for 3 days to fucking talk to you about this.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
let's hear it.
After years, decades, I'm trying to get my wife to watch Game of Thrones. Like, the entire time that I have known you, you have tried to get me to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and you swore you were just gonna go. You were just gonna say fuck it and start it without her.
No, but I couldn't do it without her.
You did it. You waited.
I waited.
You held on.
I stayed strong, and I gave up
several times.
And then the other day, she's like, "Let's watch Stranger Things," and I had a breakdown. I said no.
You start hissing.
I said no. I'm not watching another fucking show with you until you watch one show with me. Like I got fucking I was in my feelings. I've been watching shows with you for almost 10 years, and you don't ever watch anything with me. She's like, "Fuck, all right, I'll watch Game of Thrones with you." And we put the first episode on, and the whole time she was like this,
glued.
It's the first time that we've tried to watch Game of Thrones, Season 1, Episode 1, that she hasn't fallen asleep. And at the end of the episode, she went, "What the fuck?" as Bran was falling out of the tower. And then we're watching Episode 2, and she goes, "Wait a minute, they were brother and sister?" Yep, they were fucking. Okay, so We started watching it Sunday afternoon. Okay, we watched 1 episode. Last night we watched 5 episodes.
God damn.
I got off work at 3 o'clock yesterday. Skylar got home at 4, or got off work at 4:15. From 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. we watched Game of Thrones. We watched 5 episodes. We're gonna watch episode 6 here in about 30 minutes, and episode 7. Try and get episode 8 in if I can. So I'm gonna be caught up.
Good.
I'm gonna be caught up by the time the new season airs.
I mean, you already know most of the stuff that happened because you
Right.
you just went ahead and looked ahead.
Yeah,
But
I'm smart.
now you can experience it.
Oh yeah, and it's cool. Like, this is what I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad you reminded me because I forgot I wanted to bring this up on the show anyway. It is, number one, because you and I have talked about it on the show before, and you've talked about it with Miranda on here. It's so satisfying, like, doubling down on something that you enjoy with your significant other.
Yeah.
And I've always been really hyped about Game of Thrones because I've read some of the books.
I've got the newest one, Fire and Fury.
Yeah,
Fire and Blood.
I only have the first
It starts
2.
off with Aegon's Conquest.
Cool.
It's badass.
I only have the first 2, which are the only 2 that I've read. But I've fucking had a hard-on for Game of Thrones since Season 1, Episode 1 aired.
By the way, I also watched the Game of Thrones South Park episodes last night.
Oh, God, they're so good.
All 3 of them.
Yeah.
The Black Friday episodes.
Right.
Fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah, they're fucking great. That's some of the best stuff that South Park's ever done. But anyway, like,
Get out of my garden! Fuck you!
It's so...
He's gonna betray you! He only takes people he's gonna betray to my garden! Get the fuck out of my garden! Fuck you, old man!
It's so fucking satisfying because, like, as we've now watched basically 6 episodes in 2 days,
which you're almost done.
Which I'm almost done with season 1, so I'm way past the hurdle right now with her.
Oh yeah.
Because now, like, every episode, like, towards the end of the episode, I'm like, hey, this is when shit starts to really pick up. And normally, I don't like to sit and watch shows with somebody when they're like, hey, this is a really good part. But with her, like, every time I say, hey, pay attention to this. Hey...
Because you watched up to season 4, right?
I was starting season 4. I watched this first episode of season 4.
Okay.
So I know everything that's happening anyway.
Okay.
But, like, when they first get to the wall and you see Tyrion and the Night Commander having a conversation and he introduces himself to Tyrion, I said, did you catch that? And I paused it. And she goes, no. I said, what was his last name? Moore something? I said, it's Mormont. She goes, okay. I said, who else's name is Mormont? And she just looked at me and I said, who did I say my favorite character in the show was? That Jorah guy. I said, yeah, what was his last name? Mormont. So now, like, all the cool little, like, stuff that, like, does a lot for me mentally, like, now I'm making it make sense for her.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The Night Commander is Jorah's dad. What the fuck's he doing in the other place with the dragon bitch? Like,
that's what Nate calls her.
Right. The dragon. That's why I said
bitch.
it. But
it was so funny watching him catch, because we would. So on Tuesday nights we would go. Myself, Nick Torres, Nate, and Alan Dawson. We'd all go to Alan's apartment. Nick, Alan, and I would play Monster Hunter while Nate watched Game of Thrones on HBO on demand, catching up. So he's trying to watch this while we're all loudly talking shit to each other, killing dragons. And he's like, what the fuck is the dragon bitch doing? Oh shit, there's the midget. It's like he's just off like narrating it to himself.
But so now, like, it's so satisfying because, like, characters that... So my favorite characters in the series are Jorah, Brom, and Jaime. Like, those are my favorite characters. 3 mild villains that you could... I mean, anti-heroes, some would say.
Especially Bronn.
Brom's such a fucking badass.
I love Brom.
Like, so last night we watched, while they were at the Vale.
Yeah, and Tyrion trial by combat.
You fight with no honor. He did. Like,
he did. He doesn't give a fuck.
My wife fucking laughed at that.
Wow.
She doesn't laugh at anything.
Your wife showed emotion?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And like at the end of every
kudos, Skylar.
At the end of every episode, she's like, "I want to watch another one," and it's like it's to the point now where I'm not even stoking the fire. I'm just watching it burn. And she's just a roaring inferno at this point. Give me more fuel. I need more Game of Thrones. Like, she's texting me at work wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier.
Yeah. Like, I told my wife that I fucking loved her yesterday. I said, you the real MVP. Fucking hashtag blessed. I said all that stuff.
That's awesome. I can't wait till both of you are caught up, because Game of King Chairs is going to be intense.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully you can be here for it
I will.
on the days we do it, because I think we might be doing it on Wednesday.
Cocksucker.
But we could maybe push it to Thursday. I don't know.
God forbid you do like a Sunday.
Well, the thing is, I guess we could do it day of the show.
Rip.
Day of the episode.
Oh, you're still doing that?
Never stop.
Anyway, I just wanted to highlight how awesome my wife is, how badass Game of Thrones is, how fucking excited I am to guest on this new show, this new project that you're doing. And God help you all when I start fucking going deep into lore of Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. That's some good shit right there.
You caught up on Vikings?
I'm done, man.
I need to catch up.
Get the fuck on my level. Anyway, that's all I got to say.
Your wife says, come home so we can watch more.
See? I fucking told you!
Brandon Stone says, it's about time.
We're getting it, man.
Yeah,
we're doing it. We're doing it.
But yeah, back to what you're saying with Nate narrating shit on TV. He's been playing Red Dead 2 and shit.
Fun.
God, I can only imagine.
He's actually really far. I think.
Hey, bro, come on, fucking horse, let's go, bro.
It's literally like shit. He's like, dude, who's this stupid fucking guy trying to give me shit? And he'll just start beating the shit out of some random dude. And he's like, damn it, now I have a bounty.
Damn it, now I have a bounty.
Wait, what?
Fuck, bro, wait, what? Yeehaw, mofos, yeehaw.
And he just gives no fuck. His friend was over and he's like, hey, you want me to get you a bunch of gold bars? And he's like, sure, I could use more money. And hands him the controller. This guy goes into this little dungeon, touches these statues. There's this puzzle that has these statues. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. And they was literally laughing at this. They had small dicks on them, and he's laughing at their dicks. I'm like, how fucking old are you?
I think we should stop now.
We're done. All right. Thank you, Cameron, for joining.
I'm glad I could join.
Glad you could sneak onto the set.
Yeah.
Tyler, it's always a good time with you. Glad you're my co-host.
Thanks for allowing me to come back like every week.
I don't have a home.
I'm glad to have you back. It's been 2 weeks.
Well,
and it's been long, and yet last week I was so distraught.
My brain needed a day.
I get
I had
you.
stuff to do.
Blaine was really
Remodeling your house fucking sucks.
I know.
Are you remodeling your house?
But anyway, so thanks again for watching
and listening.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Podcastrophe feed. You can check us out on iTunes or Podbean for listening purposes. If you want to watch us, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Yeet.
If you're not on the, if you're listening to us, say, I don't know, on the Journey into Comics network feed, maybe you should hit us up on the Podcastrophe feed, and you'll get a bunch of extra episodes, like our Creed 2 review, or like the upcoming Game of King Chairs podcast.
And the podcast that I have stuck in my back pocket.
Oh,
which will
shit.
probably start taking place around the same time as Game of King Chairs.
Is that
shit.
D&D one?
No.
No? Scrap that idea?
Nope, that's just on the back burner.
Slowly simmering.
But if you're over here on the Podcastrophe page, feed, whatever, and you're not on the Journey into Comics, give them a like, give them a subscribe, give them a follow, whatever you need to do. Because they do stuff like Journey into Comics. Pour 360, Brews with Dudes, Kids for Sale, Adulting Ain't Easy. Dungeons with Dudes, Gallifredio, Voice of Survival, Journey into Wrestling, Foodies Watching Movies.
The Cameron Cast.
The Cameron Cast.
The Backroom Cameron Cast.
It's 20 minutes of me just mumbling.
Grinding an earthworm into his taint.
If you can record it, send it.
I'll
play it.
I take a whole strip of acid and lock myself in a closet.
Dude, if you can record it, send it.
That'll
be Podcastrophe exclusive. Fuck JIC.
Have you seen what is it? Drinking with No Cups or whatever the fuck it's called?
Oh, Drinking Out of Cups.
Yeah. Not my chair, not my problem.
Look at him drinking out of cups, being a bitch. Not my chair, not my problem. Who the fuck is this guy? Captain Tying Knots? Fuck you.
Tying knots and shit. What a dumbass.
Look at me. I'm Mr. Walkway. I'm the walkway. Walk down me. I'm Mr. Walkway. Fuck you. I like seashells and seashell things and seahorses.
Oh, shit.
Shut up, Cameron.
We're done.
All right.
We're done here.
Done for real?
Check us out live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube every Tuesday, roughly around 5:30 or 6. We don't know what time specifically. Just check us out around there. Be ready, because we come at you every Tuesday. Yeah. Is that all?
Thanks for listening to us like you do.
Yeah.
We
Tyler
appreciate it.
genuinely looked like he got sad for that.
Cameron just reached his hand out, and I smacked it. And I went to pet it to say I was sorry. And he smacked my hand. And now I'm sad.
You're trying to be the victim when you attacked me first.
This is America!
You treaded on him!
I'm done.
All right. Good show.
Yeah.
Click end.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Is that what I do?
Shut off your... Just
all right.
Unplug your computer.
Okay, fine. I guess we're going to make every day a big dick day. Bye, guys.